Hello Statesman Nation, I'm Wade Steinloggy and this is In the Locker Room presented by Malcolm Lumber. On this week's show we will preview last week's games, including a perfect 4-0 week by the basketball teams as well as a couple of wins by the baseball teams. Track and field added 2 more national qualifiers, and the wrestling team also hosted the Hart Championships. We'll also be previewing next week's games, including Senior Day for the women's basketball team. We'll also have a pair of special guests. We'll have all of that and much more. You're in the locker room. In the preseason, both Central Methodist basketball teams were expected to have big years. Fortunately, neither team has reached their expectations, but both teams are very scary, especially at home, and William Penn went down to Missouri on Wednesday night. The women starting off the doubleheader. The women held off the Eagles in a top 25 matchup last month. The Eagles just outside the top 25 now, looking for a signature win to bolster their resume. Starting off, William Penn had a rough first quarter, but warming up here in the second quarter, 3-pointer by Mackenzie Peasley. Now a nice dump into Wabarocha. She can't make it, but Oliver with the rebound puts it up. She gets fouled, misses the free throw here, but Autumn Voigt with the second chance bucket. William Penn up at halftime by 9. The third quarter, William Penn starts pulling away. Kate Ilatello made 6 3-pointers, didn't like the first look, takes the second look, and William Penn ends up pulling away easily on the road, 70-56 over Central Methodist. Ilatello with 22 points, Wabarocha with 13, and Peasley added 12 as well, so William Penn gets the season sweep. The men finishing off the doubleheader down in Fayette. Both William Penn and Central Methodist have been on the skids as of late, so it was kind of a situation of what team could turn things around on Wednesday night. Down 20-11 early on, William Penn starts to heat up. Malik Thomas with this 3-pointer. It's tied 27-27 at halftime, and now Malik Thomas, big drive. He ends up getting the loose ball, puts it off the glass. William Penn 18-4 run to take over this game. The lead grew to 10 points on the 3-pointer by Marlon Alcindor, and William Penn shoots 65% in the second half, 71% from the perimeter to rally for the win. 5 individuals in double figures as William Penn wins 75-66. Alcindor with 14, Shamar Bailey-Dicoteau with 12, and Adrian Edwards gets a double-double, 10 and 10. 3 days after that impressive doubleheader win down in Missouri, the basketball teams hit the road once again, going west over to Lamoni to take on Graceland. The women starting the doubleheader, they are inching closer to a conference crown, but definitely could not overlook a pesky Yellow Jacket team. William Penn all over Graceland early on, though. 11-0 run by William Penn to start the game, highlighted by this long drive taken the entire way by Brenda Pennington. William Penn now up 18-12. Pennington again pushing the issue, finds Ilatello on the wing, and she puts it in. William Penn running away from this one early on. It's 21-4 after first quarter, second quarter, much of the same, 41-14 at the half. And in the second half, William Penn makes it look easy, put back by Wabarocha, and your Statesmen take it by 28 points on the road at Graceland, 71-43. Ilatello with 20 and 6. Wabarocha just misses a double with 18 points and 9 rebounds, and Shemaya Oliver also with 14 points. Now the men looking to finish off the sweep. Graceland, the defending national champions, lost to William Penn in Oskaloosa back in December. Early run for Graceland, but William Penn answering back. 3-pointer by Shamar Bailey-Dicoteau. William Penn takes the lead and ends up kind of running away with this one for quite a while. Another 3-pointer by Bailey-Dicoteau, and now Marlon Alcindor, 22 points to lead William Penn scorers, a three-pointer there. And Abrian Edwards pushes the lead up to 22 points on this bucket. Graceland did make it interesting, ended up pulling it all the way down to 6 points, but a nice finish by Omar Sherman, and William Penn wins on the road 88-79. Alcindor again with 22 points. He knocked down 6 three-pointers. Edwards with 17 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds, and Bailey Dicateau with 16 points as well. Contrary to what the mountains of snow are saying out there, spring is just around the corner, winter's almost over. The indoor track and field teams headed south for one more opportunity to qualify, some individuals competing in the Missouri Collegiate Challenge. And we did get 2 more individuals, as Chris Leva qualified in the 60 with a school record of 6.85 seconds. Also qualifying is Kayla Music, finishing off a tremendous freshman indoor season. Her 7.83 second 60-meter run was also a school record. Both individuals ran strong in the 200 as well. So William Penn will send a handful of individuals up to South Dakota for the national championships at the end of this month, February 28th through March 2nd up in Brookings, South Dakota. The men's and women's bowling teams also completing their regular season. They'll still have one more tournament before sectionals, but this one, the big one, the Hoosier Classic, the biggest of the entire season. William Penn men coming off winning the tournament last year, just finishing slightly down in the standings this time, 5th out of 78, ended up reaching the semifinals. Curtis Micah leading the way with a 209.8 average. Also Nick Walker was 16th and Alexander Kostrick 20th. So William Penn, another great effort, will end up hopefully vaulting the team inside the top 10 in a really good position going into sectionals. The women also had a great effort, 13th out of 66, not as good as the men, but they did have 2 individuals making the all-tournament team, including Nicole Kraft at 205.5. She ended up finishing 3rd, and Kayla Gifford was 5th at 203.5. The wrestling team, as aforementioned, hosted the Hart Championships on Saturday. Team finished 6 out of 8 overall and had 2 individuals, Tyshawn Cannon and Austin Goen, placing 4th, and 2 more individuals taking 5th in Nadello Charles Pierre and Darkwell Pierre, both getting 5th as well. So 6th place finish by the wrestling team. See if we get anybody to qualify for nationals as an at-large. And the baseball team, after getting some cancellations down in Missouri, they ended up adding some games in Topeka, Kansas against Mount Marty, a 3-game set down there on Thursday. And the team lost the first one in a slugout, 17-12, but came back and won 7-5 over Mount Marty in Game 2 and 11-10 on a walk-off by Blaze Spees. Stetson Denning picked up the win in both Game 2 and Game 3 out of relief. So a lot of runs there. William Penn running his record up to 8-1 overall. When we return in the locker room, we will have Coach Todd Hafner of the football team. We'll be back in a minute.
William Penn University provided the opportunities for me to widen my potential after graduation. I loved being involved with the women's golf team and was able to focus my last few years on internships at the YMCA. With all the opportunities at Penn, I hope to one day be working in a stadium for a pro team or doing the business side of sports, which I love. The opportunities are real, your potential is unlimited. Discover your place at William Penn University.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
What if there was a program
where I could express my individuality,
create my visions, get the hands-on learning that I need,
a program where I could become something greater,
become something bigger,
Hello everyone, this is Tyler Van Welden from Malcolm Lumber in Grinnell, Montezuma, and Oskaloosa. Malcolm Lumber is your DIY headquarters and we would love to help you with any projects you want to tackle. Bring us your plans, let our staff help you. We will get you the right materials, the correct tools, and the support you need to make that project come out perfect. And now we have a full-time designer for that new kitchen and bath. Stop in and say hello at any of our 3 store locations or call to make an appointment.
Welcome back, Statesman Nation. National Signing Day was just 2 weeks ago. It doesn't seem like it's football season at all, but talking about recruiting, talking about raffles, we're going to talk about all sorts of stuff as we bring in head coach Todd Hafner of the football team. Coach, appreciate you coming in for a couple minutes.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let's talk about signing day. I know you guys brought in a nice, good class, a lot of talent. Let's kind of recap just overall how recruiting's been going.
Well, it's been going great. We signed 43 kids on signing day. We made a concentrated effort to focus a little bit more on the Midwest, to fit the type of kid that we're looking for in our program, and I think we did a great job. We did have some players come from the South, but for the most part, everyone that we recruited was from the Midwest, and we had a great day. It was fun to watch the letters of intent roll in, and we're very happy with what we had.
In any individual area that you were looking at most, I mean, I know you obviously every year you're going to lose some seniors, et cetera, but anybody that you were looking at like, hey, we really need to beef up this area, or? Well,
I think with the loss of 3 starters on the defensive line, I think that was an area for us that we were concentrating on. However, we have returning players, and we feel good about those guys that are going to be coming back. But I think for depth purposes, that's where we focus the most. And then probably in our secondary a little bit. I think that we got a little bit thin in our secondary late in the season, and we thought it was important for us to go try and find some guys that could come in and potentially be backups and key special teams guys for us.
Right. Switching gears a little bit, a disappointing fall, and I think, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I think this led to something that you guys have not invented, but initiated, I guess that's the word, initiated this off season in the Leadership Council. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, disappointing was, wins and losses is one thing, but, we felt that we lacked a little bit of leadership from some key players and some key positions, and so basically what we did is each position coach chose 1 or 2 players out of their position group that they thought were leaders in their position group, and we formed what we called the Leadership Council, and those guys are we'll consider those guys leaders on our football team, on and off the field. They'll do our interviews, they'll go do a lot of our volunteering and things like that, and on top of it, we're getting them some leadership training on the proper ways to be a leader, whether it's by how your work ethic, or are you a rah-rah guy, and so we're working with those guys to try and become better at what they do, and hopefully in the end it'll make our team better.
Definitely. The outside of the off the field stuff that they're doing, I mean, you guys are talking about reading books and having different meetings about that type of stuff. But what's something that really sticks out to you, like this is how we think we can make, I mean, the overall picture is we're going to make a better student athlete, but what's one thing that really sticks out?
Well, I think that we're looking for guys to help us handle adversity. We've put our guys in some tough situations this spring with some of the things we're doing, and it's been nice just to see what we've been talking about and what we've kind of been showing these guys how to approach different areas. That it's nice to see how it works, and we think so far it's going great, and we're looking forward to continuing it this spring and on into next year.
Okay. You alluded to spring. You said the word that it doesn't look like it outside,
no.
But spring ball is right around the corner. I think you guys take about a week off before, right after spring break, and then you guys hit spring ball. So let's talk about some of the things that you're going to be working on during your spring season. Well,
the biggest thing that we like to work on, is really to start implementing some of our younger guys into a more serious role. A lot of times young players will come in and they want to play right away, but it's sometimes not very feasible. But this is their opportunity to show us that they're getting ready to go, and we spend a lot of time working the fundamentals and doing a lot of things as far as blocking, tackling, scheme, things like that. And it's really a great opportunity for our young guys to get entrenched in a position and to start fighting for starting jobs.
Okay. Finally, an exciting thing that you guys are doing here. There's always fundraising that has to be done. I mean, to have all those cool things, but you guys are taking the fundraising to the road, so to speak.
We are.
You're having a raffle, hopefully selling a ton of raffle tickets. But talk about the raffle a little bit.
Well, it was an idea, that Clayton Norberg, our defensive coordinator, came up with, and so basically what we're doing is we're selling raffle tickets for $20. It's an opportunity to win a brand new Harley Davidson motorcycle. We'll do the drawing at football homecoming of this year. So we're going to be selling tickets from now until homecoming. We'll do it at halftime of the game, and along with the motorcycle, we have other prizes. There's a $6,000 cash prize, a $3,000 cash prize, and a $1,000 cash prize that we'll also be giving away. And we have seen quite a bit of interest. It's an exciting fundraiser, something that was thinking outside the box, but I really think it's something that's going to be a great fundraiser for us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not a motorcycle guy, but I'll take the money after I sell it for sure. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, Coach. Best of luck as you guys are moving forward here, finishing off recruiting, getting ready for spring ball, all of that, and obviously selling a lot of tickets. So there'll be opportunities to buy some of those tickets on William Penn's website. Otherwise, find Coach Hafner or any of the coaches, any of the players. You can pick up those. Plenty of those raffle tickets as well. So once again, thanks to Coach Hafner for coming in. When we return to In the Locker Room, we will preview next week's games, including Senior Day for the women's basketball team.
William Penn University provided the opportunities for me to widen my potential after graduation. I loved being involved with the women's golf team and was able to focus my last few years on internships at the YMCA. With all the opportunities at Penn, I hope to one day be working in a stadium for a pro team or doing the business side of sports, which I love. The opportunities are real, your potential is unlimited. Discover your place at William Penn University.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
What if there was a program
where I could express my individuality,
Create my visions. Get the hands-on learning that I need.
a program where I could become something greater?
become something bigger?
Hello everyone, this is Tyler Van Welden from Malcolm Lumber in Grinnell, Montezuma, and Oskaloosa. Malcolm Lumber is your DIY headquarters, and we would love to help you with any projects you want to tackle. Bring us your plans, let our staff help you. We will get you the right materials, the correct tools, and the support you need to make that project come out perfect. And now we have a full-time designer for that new kitchen and bath. Stop in and say hello at any of our 3 store locations or call to make an appointment.
Welcome back, Statesman Nation. She had a great freshman year, and now she's ready for a tremendous sophomore year in the fall. We're here with Corinne Lepper, freshman volleyball player out of Jefferson City, Missouri. Appreciate you coming in for a little bit, Corinne. Let's get right into talking just about last year, which was only a few months ago, but you had a really great year, part of we can basically call it what it is, a turnaround season for Statesman volleyball. But talk about just your season and how you were able to step in right as a freshman and have such a successful campaign.
I probably want to thank our seniors. We had 7 seniors, and they were all very welcoming and inviting. And coming in as a freshman, I was a little scared, but I just wanted to do my job and do what I could for the team, which I thought I did a pretty good job. And anytime any of us were down, they always kept us really accountable. And also our 2 GAs, they are very insightful and very helpful, and anytime any of us were going through something hard, they would just talk to us one-on-one and help us get through what we were going through, like a slump or anything personal. And I think is really, like, our team's just so, we don't have a lot of drama and we're just there for each other, so it really helped us.
Definitely. You starting at the same time as Coach Cleaver, I mean, obviously she came in January, but you didn't have to worry about the transition like some of the other athletes did, figuring out, you know, okay, what's this new coach going to be like? So in that respect, you had an easier freshman year than you know, others could have had. Talk about the relationship with Coach Cleaver and, you know, how she has, you know, impacted you in comparison to other coaches you've had.
Yeah. When I first met Coach Cleaver, I thought she was a student, but she's just a super easy person to talk to. She's very inviting. Like, as of right now, like, she's recruiting a lot, but during the season, like, you could always talk to her. She was always there for us. I think she did a really good job of not trying to put so much pressure on me, because, like, I didn't really realize, like, as a freshman starting, like, I had a lot of pressure, but she never made me feel like that, and just, like, told me, take care of what you can take care of and what you can control, which really helped me stay calm and just get my job done and do what I could for our team.
Yeah, we talked off air about all of the different positions you played, because we weren't really sure how to describe you. You played outside, you did opposite, you also did middle, but moving, I guess, let me back that up. I mean, how did you handle all of that, you know, being a versatile player, especially being a freshman, asked to just do whatever role you could do?
At first, I came in as a right side, and that was like what I was dead set on, and I really wanted to play that. And then she moved me to middle, and at first I was kind of like skeptical if I wanted to. But I thought to myself, like, I was like, I should take this as a compliment that coach thinks I can play multiple positions. So I wanted to step up and do what she wanted me to do. So to get my job done as a middle, even though it's not my favorite thing, but I realized that it's the best thing that I can play, and I like doing it, and I got used to it. Because I played it in high school, but middle I think is a good spot for me. It's quick, and it leaves less room for error, and it's good for blocking. So. No,
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 101 blocks somehow. I mean, you obviously could have gotten it on the side, but moving forward here, again, you guys are in the off season now. What are you guys doing off season wise to prepare yourself for the 2019 season?
So we're lifting 4 times a week, which I love. We get to lift heavy, go with Coach Haugen, and we have Bam. She's our new GA. And we have open gyms twice a week, and we also have individuals twice a week, which is really fun. We get to work on specific things we need to work on, like being faster with my block and being really explosive with my arms is good. 2 things I really need to work on. And it gives me a good base of what I need to work on in the summer.
Definitely. You're talking about recruiting, you know, as Coach Cleaver's doing a lot of that. How does she pull you guys into some of that situation? I'm sure it's, you know, she can sell the team, but no better salesman will there be than, you know, the student athlete that can say, this is exactly what it's like to be a Statesman volleyball player.
Almost every single recruit we have, she puts them with me and my roommate Kiana, because we're both young, and I get a good opportunity to talk to them. And sometimes, like, we'll house them, they'll stay with us, and we have a lot of fun with them, get to tell them, like, have a good experience and what it's like. And we like when they come to open gym, we want to be really inviting and not make them scared. We like to give them a good insight on our team and how it goes.
Talk about your sophomore year and going forward, the expectation that you've got for yourself and for the team. I know that, you know, just missed 20 wins this year, and I know the team is going to want to obviously eclipse that and continue moving forward and, you know, get deep into the postseason. But talk about, I guess, at least next year's expectations.
Well, for myself, I set my expectations really high. So I want to go out there and just do the best I can anywhere she puts me and just have a good attitude about it and just be very positive. I want to be a leader out there only as a sophomore. And since we did lose so many seniors, she's recruiting a lot of JUCO, which I think will really help us because we'll have a lot of experience, because I'm pretty much the only young one that'll be out there next year. Maybe, and I think she is recruiting a couple of freshmen that will be on varsity, which I'm super excited about. But I like how she tells us that we can control what we need to control, and we work on what we need to work on as a team and not worry about other people. And she gets us really game ready. Like the day before practice, before a game, we focus on what their defense is and where we need to go. And just, I feel like a lot of the girls she's brought in are very good people in general, and like obviously good at volleyball, and I think it'll really help our team like be confident. I think we got kind of like in a little like confidence booster. We were worried about, like the past 5 years we don't want to be that team, and so we were just kind of stuck on that. So I think we're going to move forward from that, just being a new team.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know you got to brush off to other things, William Penn, student athlete related, but thank you so much. Once again, Corinne Lepper, freshman from Jefferson City, Missouri. We're a few months away from the season, but before you know it, it'll be volleyball season once again. When we return on In the Locker Room, we'll talk about next week's games.
William Penn University provided the opportunities for me to widen my potential after graduation. I loved being involved with the women's golf team and was able to focus my last few years on internships at the YMCA. With all the opportunities at Penn, I hope to one day be working in a stadium for a pro team or doing the business side of sports, which I love. The opportunities are real, your potential is unlimited. Discover your place at William Penn University.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
What if there was a program
where I could express my individuality,
Create my visions. Get the hands-on learning that I need.
a program where I could become something greater?
become something bigger?
Hello everyone, this is Tyler Van Welden from Malcolm Lumber in Grinnell, Montezuma, and Oskaloosa. Malcolm Lumber is your DIY headquarters and we would love to help you with any projects you want to tackle. Bring us your plans, let our staff help you. We will get you the right materials, the correct tools, and the support you need to make that project come out perfect. And now we have a full-time designer for that new kitchen and bath. Stop in and say hello at any of our 3 store locations or call to make an appointment.
Welcome back, Statesman Nation. We are more than fully into the crossover season as the winter sports campaigns wrap up and we're right into spring, so we'll get to see what's going on with the Statesman this week. The women's and men's basketball teams will be going up to Cedar Rapids on Wednesday night to take on Mount Mercy. William Penn, 25-2 on the year. They won by 20 points. They won easily over Mount Mercy back in January. So looking for that double, or looking for the sweep there in that series. Also the men, they've won a few in a row now and looking to clip the Mustangs and keep that winning streak rolling up in Cedar Rapids. Softball team will continue its season going down to Arkansas, taking on St. Mary of Kansas in the first game of each doubleheader. So St. Mary of Kansas first, then Lyon, which is the host. They'll play them in the second game, and they'll do that both on the, Saturday and Sunday. Then the baseball team will travel into Missouri to take on a few teams, including Jamestown and Mayville State. William Penn 8-1 on the year. Also Morningside and Hastings in the second day of the Joplin Classic down there. Again, William Penn looking for a few more wins before they get into conference season. Then on Saturday, the women's basketball team will wrap up its regular season. It'll be senior day, taking on the Ravens of Benedictine. William Penn took down Benedictine in Kansas last month. Then for the men, they'll have a few more games after this week, but Benedictine leading the conference, already clinched the conference, but it'd be a huge victory, huge feather in the hat for the Statesmen as they take on Benedictine on Saturday. So we'll have all of that action. We'll bring in a couple of special guests next week as well. So for all Statesman Athletics information, statesmanathletics.com. We'll be back in a week. Until then, go Statesman.